Say, if at first you get sued and have to pay out $25 million, not only is he dishonest, he's not too bright.
In rain. Phone call from my man Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy said if Floyd accepts the challenge, then he'll put it on the actual show.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah.
If he is, I don't know where the money went to.
Exactly.
Floyd Mayweather lost his cool when Jimmy Kimmel openly questioned how he makes money and his exhibition bouts during a live broadcast. Kimmel poked fun at Floyd's love for quick cash deals. The heated moment left Mayweather clearly upset and viewers shocked by the live confrontation.
For this, or was this just...
I guess it's something that they just made up.
Something made up. Do you think they're going to paint over that when it goes as everyone seems to think it's going to go?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You should buy that gym from him and knock it down with a wrecking ball.
We can do that.
That would be something you could do.
We can do that.
You could potentially make... How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
$350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool.
Jimmy Kimmel's harsh questions only made things worse. Behind the flashy image, real problems were surfacing. Financial specialists have warned for years that extreme spending, risky investments, and lack of steady income could destroy even massive fortunes. For Mayweather, those concerns now seem to be coming true.
Instagram, you're on what looks like a private plane, just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. With a whole lot of money, and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup, maybe, also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
You didn't flew on me.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
And, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
Floyd Mayweather was recently seen strolling around New York City, pointing at buildings and claiming to own several of them. While he gave off the vibe of being rich and powerful in real estate, this claim was quickly dismissed. Investigators found out many of the buildings he mentioned weren't registered under his name or tied to his companies. This mismatch only fueled rumors about his money problems and efforts to protect his public image.
Mayweather,
Man, do we got money or not? I don't know what's going on.
I'm lost.
Man, I seen, I think Stephen A was talking about he was bankrupt.
See, I know he came out with this commercial talking about he just invested in this deal that's worth like $402 million that's dealing with 60 apartment buildings.
Yeah, I heard a nigga bought half of New York.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so he walking down the street of New York. Yeah, I own that one.
I seen that too.
So some people reached out to the agencies that he's connected with about this deal, and they said no comment.
Let me say something. I got a question. Niggas is nosy for no reason.
Nosy as hell.
What I'm reaching out to these people about they deal for?
We want to talk to you about the Floyd Mayweather deal. No comment. But they say his name ain't on no paperwork or nothing.
I seen him somewhere on something. He look like a bum.
Floyd?
Yeah, he was looking like a bum. Had like he ain't shaved in months.
Oh yeah, I seen that too.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah.
If he is, I don't know where the money went to.
Exactly.
Outside of money matters, Mayweather continues to deal with long-running court battles. One major issue involves lawsuits from former girlfriends who say he treated them badly. These cases have added more trouble to his already controversial name. The lawsuits go into deep detail, suggesting it's not just one-time events, but a pattern. These legal troubles keep haunting his legacy, making it hard for Mayweather to fully leave behind his history of scandals.
Mayweather, real quick, okay? So somebody sent me a lawsuit. I gotta go through the details, but apparently a few of his girls, strippers at Girl Collection are suing him for loss of wages. Okay, now I wasn't gonna pay attention to this because I was just like, well, how are y'all strippers and you suing him for loss of wages? I'm trying to figure that out. Like, you get your money from the Patreon. What does he have to do with your money? And so somebody put a little bird in my ear. They said this was the beginning of the lawsuit. Okay, they're gonna be adding more allegations of harassment and all this stuff. And I was just like, no, hold up, you worked in a club. And so apparently there's more to come. All right. But here's my thing. I was like, the last person that filed a lawsuit against him, alleging anything, where's she at? Anybody seen her?
A new clip surfaced showing Mayweather spending huge amounts to rent fancy homes, places he doesn't really live in. His habits, like renting instead of owning, seem more about showing off than being smart. Critics say this behavior shows he's trying too hard to look rich instead of making wise money choices. For someone who claims to be a money expert, this pattern looks more reckless than clever.
Floyd Mayweather just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something is just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment. So if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he plans to use this.
In what many saw as a move to fix his image, Mayweather posted a video showing off his real estate across the U.S. He talked about shifting his focus from flashy houses to commercial properties that make money. The video was meant to calm the public and explain that selling luxury homes was part of a smarter investment plan.
Money Mayweather is at it again. This time, not in the ring, but in the real estate market. The undefeated boxing champ just sold his Miami Beach mansion for a jaw-dropping $22 million. Let's break down the numbers and see why Floyd's still living up to his nickname. Mayweather originally bought this stunning waterfront property in 2021 for $18 million. Fast forward 3 years and he's walking away with a cool $4 million profit. Not bad, right? And here's a fun twist. The buyer is taking on a $13 million mortgage, which comes with monthly payments of nearly $99,000. Now, let's talk about the mansion itself. It's a 3-story masterpiece, spanning over 9,000 square feet, with 9 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. But the amenities? Next level. A 5,000 square foot rooftop with panoramic.
Back in 2017, Mayweather tried to shut down the haters by pulling out a $100 million check at a press event. The check was from his fight with Manny Pacquiao, and he flashed it to prove he was still rich. The act was dramatic and unforgettable, but many people wondered why such a large check hadn't been cashed yet.
He's like the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA, the UFC.
I didn't know Conor McGregor was undefeated. I didn't know that he had a reign in MMA for 20 years and undefeated, and was world champion in 5 different weight classes. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys telling me something new. If you say he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA.
Well, do you?
I mean, if you say he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA, I'm trying to find out. Have you ever made $300 million in one night? Have you ever made $100 million in one night? Have you ever made $70 million in one night? So, as far as trying to say that he's the Floyd Mayweather of MMA, I mean, it's okay to just to say it, but it's not true. I'm a legend, a living legend. You know, I gave to the sport of boxing. I gave years and years of hard work. It was blood, sweat, and tears. I had a tremendous team. I had a tremendous run. I think that it's time for Conor McGregor need to go out there and do what he do. But never compare Conor McGregor to me. That's a total disrespect. I mean, once again, I'm an elephant. Elephant don't beef with ants. You know, elephant is so large he don't even see ants.
Mayweather always defends his flashy way of living as the result of years of hard effort. He often reminds fans he rose from nothing and earned his riches. To him, showing off money isn't being cocky, it's inspiring. But boxing great Mike Tyson once said Floyd is too into himself, calling his behavior nearly delusional. Tyson's view matches how many fans and athletes feel. That Floyd's obsession with showing wealth, especially during hard times, seems selfish and out of touch.
What lessons do you think Pacquiao and Mayweather could learn from you in terms of life away from the ring?
Well, Floyd seems to be going through some stuff like me right now, you know, like realizing no one's his friend and everybody's probably, even though I even hate to say it, because maybe everybody's kind of a little jealous of him, you know, because he is Floyd Mayweather. I know these other guys got their money, but this guy is the champ of the world. You know, it's hard to compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about, what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them, and sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have. You know, sometimes we want to have glorious, glamorous friends, but they don't want to be our friends.
Mayweather's need to show he's richer came up again when he compared his earnings to Anthony Joshua's. He bragged about making $74 million from ticket sales without needing big crowds. Even if the numbers were real, his tone came off as insecure. Experts saw it as another example of Mayweather trying too hard to outshine younger and more popular fighters.
That in particular, and then there was also some footage that dropped a couple hours ago on IFL TV that, you know, is the reason I'm making this video. He made some comments about Anthony Joshua and compared, you know, I guess, you know, his, you know, because, you know, he talks about his money a lot. So he compared, like, I guess, his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua. And he was saying, like, you know, basically they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. You know, here, I'm going to let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell them that?
Of course you have.
For generating billions in the sport of boxing, that or having the fastest sellout crowd. But I mean, and, you know, those guys done. You know, and I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy Joshua, and they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million game. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet, and you definitely know it, because you've been around for years. And you see the same thing over and over and over again.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they didn't need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this.
Oscar De La Hoya, a longtime rival of Mayweather, has called him out for being two-faced. De La Hoya pointed out that Mayweather often insults YouTubers and crossover stars like Ryan Garcia, but Floyd himself makes millions off the same kind of fights. By calling others just influencers while getting paid from social media matches, Mayweather seems to go against his own words.
This kid Ryan Garcia, Tank got his followers from kicking ass. Ryan Garcia got his followers from YouTubers. There's a difference. So you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a fighter? Tank is a fighter.
What the fuck? So Ryan Garcia's not a fighter? He's been fighting since he was 7 years old. He has 200 plus amateur fights. I don't care where his followers come from, if they come from fucking Mars. The fact is that Ryan's followers are selling this fight. And plus, don't you remember you fought YouTubers? Are you putting YouTubers down? You profited from them. I can't with you, dude. You're fucking dumbass. I can't wait. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia fucking knocking out Tank Davis.
De La Hoya and others also believe that Mayweather is either craving attention or low on cash. His constant media appearances and bold opinions seem carefully timed to get headlines. Since retiring, Mayweather's career has included exhibition, fights, easy wins against non-boxers. He's taken on YouTubers and MMA fighters with little...
Somebody since I'm 8 years old. This was my idol. It is a tremendous honor, but make no mistake, June 11th, I'm bringing bad intentions to that man, and I don't care if an exhibition or not. You signed to fight me, it's no quarter, so it's kill or be killed.
another big event. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crazy crowd. I'm pretty sure, but I've been here so many times. You know, I've been fighting since 1987 to now, so I know what it takes when, you know, at any level. So I'm just happy to be here.
I watched every one of his fights. I've never seen anybody throw combinations with the intent and the speed and the accuracy of that man, and I was captivated from that night on. So I've been Team Mayweather since I'm 9 years old, but like I said, when it's time to get to business, we're gonna get to business. We're gonna fight.
I will continue to have fun, entertain, until I'm ready to say, you know what, enough is enough.
Though Mayweather calls these matches fun, traditionalists say they harm boxing's image and turn it into a circus. Oscar de la Hoya harshly criticized Floyd's bout with John Gotti III, calling it shameful and damaging to his legacy. He even urged Floyd to stop doing these events before his reputation.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
In an old joke brought back online, Jimmy Kimmel teased Floyd by offering him a reading challenge on TV, reminding fans of the feud with 50 Cent, who dared Floyd to read a page of Harry Potter. Clips of Mayweather struggling to read added to long-standing rumors about his literacy. While Floyd dismissed it by saying reading doesn't define success, the issue became another way for critics to question his image. His legal record includes several arrests and convictions, showing a sharp contrast to the clean-cut image he tries to show. Many wonder how someone with so many warning signs still stays in the spotlight with so little backlash.
It's just publicly thanked Floyd Mayweather, but a lot of people are calling him out for that. Where it all began was right after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, which Will Smith said almost ended his career. With Will Smith apologizing, getting a 10-year ban from the Oscars, and he said many celebrities would not return his calls. And the only exception was Floyd Mayweather, who called up Will Smith every day for 10 days straight. With Will Smith saying that the only reason Floyd Mayweather called was just because he wanted to make sure he was okay. And Will Smith said before that he only met Floyd Mayweather a couple times before, calling him an acquaintance, but now would call him a friend for life. I don't think Will Smith should be saying this because Floyd Mayweather was arrested in 2002 for punching 2 women at his nightclub. And due to that, he had a 1-year suspended jail sentence in 2004. And then he was arrested again for assaulting a bouncer at a nightclub, getting another 90-day suspended sentence. Then was arrested for beating up his ex-girlfriend Josie Harris, which is someone he was 10 years old, testified against his father saying he was assaulting his mother. So Will Smith is not a bad guy, but clearly made a mistake at the Oscars, and it's not a good idea for him to go befriend Floyd Mayweather. Because life's ultimately about who you associate with, and with that, I'm Charles Peralta. I hope you learned something.
Not because he did it for the sport, but because it worked for him. And now everyone wants to copy the Mayweather model. Floyd made a fortune by staying undefeated, picking the perfect time to fight Pacquiao, and choosing opponents carefully. He ran boxing like a business, but the issue is, it only helped him and his opponents, not the sport overall. What he did worked great for him, but it damaged boxing. Now, fighters just want to win, 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 and protect their record. You get it? 2 top guys finally meet years too late, when they were already stars back then. We could have had 3 classic fights, but we waited too long. The thing people don't get is, tomorrow's never promised.
Not because he did a great job, but he did it for himself, and it worked for him. But everybody now wants the Mayweather concept, because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting till the right time to fight Pacquiao, finding the right people to fight at the right time. He monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money and the people he was fighting. It didn't make money for the whole sport. So what he did himself a great job, but it hurt the sport. Because now everybody wants to fight, stay undefeated. You understand me? Me, it's like when 2 guys get hit, they gotta meet. Wait. They was here 5 years ago. Yeah. They should have met. You understand me? Because now we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, the problem what people don't understand is tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Guess what? We forced.
Big Church being from Vegas, he had, went back to Vegas and Floyd had picked him up. And so it was around late December. He had hit me and said, hey man, Floyd is getting rid of one of his dudes. If I can get you over here, would you want to work? And it, just me wanting to change the pace at the time, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So Floyd was coming down to play in a celebrity game with the Team Watson. And so it was like December 14th or something like that. So I asked one of the dudes to cover me, and I went over to the Van Nuys airport and met him. And so, Church had already told him about me. Big Mark, rest in peace, had told him about me. And so when I met him at the airport, he got off the plane. He looked me up and down, was like, Big Church, you good? And he's like, Church was like, hell yeah. He's like, Big Mark, you good? He's like, hell yeah. He's like, all right, he on. Yeah. So I started with Mayweather December 28th, 2007.